Right, good morning. This is Jack from Charting the Markets Crypto, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Monday, the 13th of October. My disclaimer, I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer your own chance. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Ethereum. Actually, let's start with Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin. We saw a fairly sharp retracement on Friday, and we broke below a bit below the weekly middle band, and we closed back above it. This is still holding a support on the bigger picture, and I'm not seeing anything imminent just that's going to change. What I would say is that we had a double top here, and that broke down, potentially setting up a target considerably lower. I'm not expecting that to deliver. Overall, I think this was just I think this is a setup which looks as though it's going to reject back up into the high, but it is worth being aware of. What we did do, and I was very sad to see, was that we broke my rising channel, which means this rising channel resistance is no longer a target. We'll see how that develops, but that's not great. There are other options. I've got a pretty nice looking resistance trend line from here. That could deliver us a higher one, but I like the channel because it gives you clear, firm support and resistance, but we broke the support. And once that is done, the other targets fall away. In terms of the daily chart, we had a strong break below the daily middle band. We need to see a break back above that. I've got that in the 116.731 area, and we're below that at the moment. I'd like to see that broken and the 50 DMA as well as soon as possible and resume the uptrend. But we could see a retest of the low first, and if we did see that, that could set up a possible daily RSI 5 buy signal. We had one of those recently, made target like a champ. We could potentially get another one of those here. Don't think we have to do that, but I am wondering about it. Looking at Solana, we had a breakdown. Again, we went below the weekly middle band. Again, we closed above it. Daily chart, we had a weak RSI 5 sell signal fixed, and that made target. But I've got a few comments to say here about Solana and Ethereum. On the hourly chart, I've drawn in a potential bull flag here, which is what I think is likely happening. And we will see how that goes. On Ethereum, we broke down and made the 3,500 area. I'll be coming back to that. Again, this looks more like a bull flag than anything else, although the trend lines aren't particularly clean. I'm watching to see, but I'm thinking we're probably this is a likely bull flag that's going to break up to the high. I do have a few more comments about Solana and Ethereum. One thing is that I was talking to my friend Matt a couple of weeks ago when we were in this decline here, and I was saying that the obvious targets on Solana and Ethereum were on Ethereum was the target for this head and shoulders down in the 3,500 area. Now, actually, I thought this had failed, but I hadn't looked closely enough because this high here at 47.58 is below this high here at 47.67. This head and shoulders never failed, and this was it pretty much making the target. That was the obvious level to get to. He was also asking me where the next levels for Solana would be on a breakdown, and the main one I was looking at here was the 200 DMA, which is at 172.55. Obviously, we went down, did an almost perfect test of that at actually 172.85, 172.55 where it is at the moment, and we bounced up from that. That was the obvious next support, and we've gone down to it, and we've held it. We've held the weak middle bands. I'm again liking the upside here. I mean, this is there's a lot of talk about the bull market being in, and that's always possible. But is it likely? I'm not seeing any obvious reason to think that it would be. Normally it would be in December, and I'm thinking that's a decent match with equities, and we're probably going to see that. Could it end earlier? Yes. Are we still likely to go up to higher highs? And do I think there's a pretty good chance of breaking the new all-time high on Solana? Yes, I do. I'm expecting new all-time highs on the other two as well. We're holding the weekly middle bands. When we start breaking those and closing below them, then I will start getting alarmed, but we're not close to that. And it didn't happen last week. So that is not what I'm mainly looking for here. And I'm leaning towards the upside pretty directly. All right, let's have a look at questions. If we're going to make a head and shoulders on Bitcoin, where would the right shoulder peak at? It wouldn't. We've already got a double top. We've got, this is already broken down with, and it broke down on Friday, and that's got a target in the, what would that be, 17 to 20. This has got a target in the, about the 81 to 84 area, I think. No, a bit higher than that. 91 to 94 area. So we don't need a head and shoulders here, and there's no decent one that would be forming, but we do have a double top with a broke down on Friday. We could come back and play that out. But I'm thinking that if we did go back and play that out, then the bull market probably would be over. Or at least the odds of that happening would be considerably higher. So we've already got that pattern. We've broken the channel, we've broken down for a double top, and it's a decent double top. I'm not looking for head and shoulders because there's no need for one. And this wasn't an obvious level to build the right shoulder on a head and shoulders. We'll see. All right, great. In that case, I think it's a wrap. Everyone take care. I'll catch you again tomorrow morning, and we'll see how it goes. All right, take care.